There's a moment in every yoga class where you have the option to go deeper. It's during Savasana, the lying down relaxation pose, when the room is silent, except for the soft, steady breaths of your fellow practitioners. What if this pivotal moment holds the key to understanding the very essence of yoga, its true root? Long before yoga pants and Instagram hashtags, yoga was a path. It was not a path to perfect abs or the latest fitness craze, but a path to perfect stillness, a journey inwards to discover the divine spark within us all. Now, your outer body is completely still, yet internally there's this rising wave of energy, or prana as they say in Sanskrit, urging you to dive deeper into the ocean of stillness. The first two limbs, yama and niyama, lay down ethical guidelines and personal observances. They are the moral compass directing our interactions with the world and ourselves. Yama includes universal ethics like non-violence, truthfulness, non-stealing, and celibacy, while niyama encompasses self-discipline such as cleanliness, contentment, and These 8 limbs provide a holistic framework, ensuring that yoga practice is not merely a physical regimen, but a transformative journey, encompassing ethics, discipline, mental focus, and ultimately, spiritual realization. Its roots run deep in the soil of ancient Indian culture. In ancient India, yoga was not about touching your toes or achieving the perfect downward dog. It was a path to liberation, a journey to realize one's true nature. The ultimate goal of yoga, as understood by the ancient yogis, was moksha, or liberation from the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. This is a subtle yet powerful invitation to transcend the physical limitations of the body and venture into the uncharted territories of your own consciousness. Today, yoga studios are aplenty, offering everything from power yoga to restorative yoga, yoga for weight loss, and even yoga for the workplace. While these iterations may have some merit, they often reduce this ancient practice to a mere fitness regime or a trendy lifestyle choice. Today, the world seems obsessed with the external, the quantifiable, and the immediately gratifying. The answer, I believe, lies in cultivating a deeper understanding and appreciation for the philosophy of yoga. It's easy to get swept up in the physicality of asanas or the feel-good vibes of a yoga class. It's a set of ethics, values, and principles that guide us in our daily interactions with the world and ourselves. Practicing yoga, asanas, without embracing its underlying philosophy is like taking a piecemeal approach to a grand tapestry. It lacks the depth, meaning, and beauty that comes from appreciating the whole cloth. But to truly understand the depth and richness of yoga, we must look beyond these immediate sensory experiences. Yoga does not belong to a select few who can afford fancy yoga retreats or branded yoga apparel. It belongs to everyone, regardless of background, belief, or physical ability. So let us ensure that in our pursuit of physical flexibility and inner peace, we do not lose sight of the deeper truths that yoga has been trying to teach us for millennia. Let us ensure that we do not just practice yoga, but live yoga, embodying its philosophy, values, and most importantly, its spirit. Inner work, especially something as intangible as spiritual development, is often neglected. May you find peace, balance, and most importantly, union on your own unique path. Namaste, with its emphasis on the union of the individual soul with the divine, stands in stark contrast to this modern ethos. It reminds us of a truth that many have forgotten. Our true nature is not confined to the physical form. We are not just our bodies or our accomplishments. There's a deeper reality within, a spiritual core that yearns for expression. Their objective was to kindle this spark, allowing it to merge back into the vast ocean of universal consciousness, realizing one's true identity as divine, infinite, and eternal. But we must be wary of losing sight of the bigger picture. By delving into the philosophical underpinnings of yoga, we can begin to see how it offers a roadmap for living a meaningful life, not just a set of exercises for a healthier body. Yoga, in its essence, is a spiritual science, aiming for union, not just a set of physical exercises or a path to a sculpted physique. However, asanas are not the ultimate goal. They are merely tools to prepare the body and mind for the more profound practices that follow. And mind, they sought to purify their consciousness, shedding the layers of ignorance and delusion that obscured their vision. In traditional yoga, asanas were seen as a means to attain physical and mental stability, allowing one to sit comfortably while meditating. External factors that typically create divisions among people become irrelevant. The yogi seeks to renounce not just societal conventions, but also the ego, possessions, and social caste distinctions. Instead, yoga offers a new identity, a title that transcends the limitations of birth and circumstance. It calls you a yogi, a seeker of truth and union, regardless of your background. In a society that often worships external success and material wealth, yoga proposes a different kind of prosperity, one that comes from within. Seen from this perspective, yoga is a radical equalizer. It doesn't matter if you're born into royalty or have nothing to your name, whether you're the strongest or the weakest, the smartest or the least educated, yoga offers a platform where all differences are transcended. Thus, while asanas are an integral part of yoga, they are merely one step on the path to self-realization. Overwhelmed by the complexities of his duty and the gravity of the situation, he becomes disheartened. By controlling and manipulating our breath, we can cleanse the mind and energy channels or nadis, preparing them for the higher practices ahead. This is followed by dharana, the sixth limb, which concentrates the mind on a single point, much like a candle flame. As we move towards the culmination of the 8 limbs, we encounter dhyana, or meditation, where the mind, now free from distractions and focused intently, transcends the limitations of the individual self. Finally, we reach samadhi, the 8th and most profound limb, a state of union, bliss, and enlightenment where the distinction between the individual self and the universal consciousness disappears. At this crucial juncture, his divine charioteer, Lord Krishna, steps in to guide him, and what follows is an enlightening dialogue that lays out the foundations of yoga. But what if this isn't just a moment in a yoga class, and foremost a philosophy, a way of life that encompasses far more than physical exercises? In fact, the word yoga itself means union, or yoke in Sanskrit. It signifies the union of the individual soul with the universal consciousness, a harmonious blend of opposites such as body and mind, effort and surrender, action and stillness. So, join me, dear students, in this exploration of ancient yoga, a spiritual science born over 2,500 years ago in ancient India. Let us embark on a captivating journey back in time to understand what yoga truly means and how it can transform our lives. In the ancient Indian epic Mahabharata, there's a pivotal moment when the warrior Prince Arjuna is about to engage in a great battle. According to ancient texts like the Bhagavad Gita, which is part of the Mahabharata, yoga is first. To truly grasp the depth of yoga, we must delve into its 8 limbs, or Ashtanga, as outlined in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, often regarded as the Yoga Bible. Our 3rd limb, asana, deals with physical postures, which have gained prominence in modern yoga practices. The 4th limb, pranayama, focuses on breathing techniques and their impact on the vital life force, known as prana in yogic texts. With a purified body and regulated breath, we move on to the internal practices, beginning with pratyahara, which involves withdrawal of the senses from external distractions. it is essential to understand that these 8 limbs are not separate practices, but interconnected pathways leading to the same goal, the union of the individual soul with the universal consciousness. Now, it is important to remember that yoga is not merely a set of physical exercises or a fitness regime. For the ancient yogis, the human body was not just a physical vessel, but a temple housing a divine spark, the individual soul or Atman. And how did they achieve this lofty goal? Through the practice of yoga, by purifying the body. The essence of yoga lies in its spiritual economics, a radical proposition that goes against the grain of conventional thinking. On the yoga path, the focus is on the journey of self-discovery and self-realization. The concept of yoga as a spiritual practice, rooted in ancient Vedic traditions, has been hijacked and commercialized in recent times. Now, don't get me wrong, there's immense value in practicing asanas, breathing exercises, and mindfulness techniques for health and well-being. The sad reality is that this dilution of yoga is just one symptom of a larger problem. So, how do we navigate this dilemma? How do we honor the ancient wisdom of yoga in a world that seems to value only the external? We must take the time to explore the 8 limbs of yoga, to understand the nuances of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. Moreover, we must remember that yoga is not just a practice, it's a way of life. Lastly, we must keep in mind the true spirit of yoga, a spirit of equality, inclusivity, and freedom. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the ancient wisdom of yoga.